Gilbert is scheduled to fight someone, right?
I don't think so. No, him and Masvidal was going back and forth, and that isn't a great fight. I don't know if that's for sure, because I'm hearing now, like, all this week, they were saying, oh, Masvidal is pushing to fight Leon Edwards for the title. Like, that doesn't really make sense, but...
If I was Leon, I'd be like, where have you been? You punched me in the face 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I haven't heard shit from you.
That's what it was. It's him and DC got into it. They were going back and forth because I think DC, he called for the Masvidal fight. I think they asked Leon, would you fight Masvidal? And Leon's like, I mean, yeah, if the opportunity was there, but, you know, I've been wanting to fight this guy for 3 years, and he just ignored me and said that I was a nobody. But now out of the woodwork, he wants to fight me. And then DC had commented and said, if I was Leon, I would just completely ignore this guy, because that's what he did to you. He ignored you when he could have fought you. You guys were both in a certain situation where you could fight each other. But now that, you know, you are the champion, he wants another crack at the belt. So of course he wants to fight you now. And so I think that's what Masvidal and his camp got upset with, and they started going at DC, and DC did the most savage shit, I think, to do. And he posted a picture of his titles stacked up. I remember saying, I was just like, well, the argument's over. You can't really say shit to that. I think he had, like 7 world titles just all stacked up on the table. And he posted a picture of it. I was like, yeah, I mean, you can't argue back with that. And he's got his Hall of Fame jacket. You can't argue with that.
There it is.
Oh, shit, that's just savage. I used to say, oh, man, maybe a couple more fights and I'm done. But with the newfound hunger that Leon has sparked, it's like, we'll do this a little bit more.
How long do you think, if you had to guess?
I would say this was my roadmap.
What was the roadmap?
My roadmap was beat Leon in the way that I wanted to, and go to 205, beat Prohaska, defend with Jan, come back down, defend with Khamzat.
Jesus.
And then if Conor wanted to, or if Canelo at that point wanted to, then do one and just sell off and just say, you know what?
Why did you want to go all the way to light heavyweight? Just because Israel's at 85?
Yeah, Israel's at 85. I don't take any pleasure in fighting Israel.
Of course. You know, but no one else at 85? Like if Israel retired? Or
yeah, if Israel retired, 100%.
205 is a big jump.
It's a big jump, but I think I have the style and I have the mental ability to be able to handle those guys. Well, I don't want to say those guys. Not everybody there. Couple of those guys. A couple of those guys, and they happen to be the guys that are at the top. So I think I could deal with Yuri and I could deal with Jan. You know, not saying they're not great. They're scary. They're fucking big, scary guys. It's kind of what makes it also tempting for me, because they are scary. It's like you get to a certain point where you're looking for new scary things to do to kind of keep you motivated.
So
and
now you have a new roadmap, though.
Yeah, I have a new roadmap.
So let's imagine
it's just a pit stop. Run Leon back. I got to run that one back.
Let's imagine that fight takes place.
Yeah.
You win the world title back. What do you think happens after that? Well, we have to see what happens with Khamzat and Nate Diaz.
I think Khamzat and Nate Diaz, I don't know.
You can't sleep on Nate Diaz.
No, absolutely not. You can't. But it's a bizarre fight.
It's a bizarre fight.
It's a bizarre fight that doesn't really make sense.
Well, Nate asked for Francis Ngannou.
I know.
That's more bizarre.
That's more bizarre. You know what? If I was Dane, I was okay. You want that? Fine, Francis. You want it? All right, let's do it.
Nate, what do you weigh? He weighs 180.
180.
Well, he's only giving up 80 pounds. What's the big deal?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's bizarre, but
that's Nate.
Hey, we'll see. It's Nate.
He's a wild fella.
And you can't count him out. But I mean, even after that, I still think it's hard to just say, Khamzat, you got to jump Gilbert Burns.
Right.
You jump Masvidal.
Gilbert. But seeing him versus Masvidal, now that fight Colby, I could get behind more Eduwards. Than maybe even the Nate fight. Masvidal 100%. Versus Khamzat, ooh, I like that fight a lot. That's interesting.
I think what's more interesting is him versus Covington.
Khamzat versus Covington. Very interesting.
That's the ultimate test.
Yeah.
Because
that's your gatekeeper.
Covington does everything.
Yeah.
He, for lack of a better word, and by no disrespect, with all due respect, I mean no disrespect, Covington.
You can say no disrespect because you beat him twice.
With respect, I think, yeah, like it's Covington. You got to get past Covington.
Most people have said before the Leon fight that if it wasn't for you, he would be the champion of the world.
I agree.
He's that good.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
He's got so much endurance, man. It's wild.
And he weaponizes it.
Yeah, he pushes a fucking crazy pace. The Woodley fight was one of the best examples.
Even that fight, he didn't really push the pace.
He could do it more.
Think about Woodley and Robbie Lawler, which I love Robbie too, but look at the pace that he put on.
Yeah.
Like, he threw over, I think he set the record for most punches thrown in that fight. Like, just kept throwing punches, kept taking them down.
DC says he's always been like that. He says he's always had this crazy gas tank. It's like a genetic thing.
Yeah, I think genetic, but I think a lot of it goes to the discipline.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of people now, they get gassed, they don't necessarily know they can deal with it.
Yeah.
In their mind, they feel like they can't, and they get tired, you know, because they don't push themselves in a certain way. But I do think it's mental, how he's mentally embraced it and pushed and pushed and pushed himself. Because for me, that's what it is. I don't run. You know, I do all the different things. I roll and I bike and I do what I can to try to get that same thing. But it's not the same as running, you know. But
I think running is the ultimate cardio?
For me, I love running. Running is so good. There's even a thing called runner's high. Mm-hmm. You know, and I felt that a few times because I ran cross country when I was in middle school, and that's where I really developed the passion for running. When you running and you just get in that zone and you're just going.
Those are the old school belts too. Do you like the old ones or the new ones?
New ones.
Do you have an old one too?
No.
You got it when it was the new?
I was the first one to get the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first welterweight. I think Henry Cejudo was the first guy to get it, and I think I fought after Henry Cejudo.
I look at the old one now, and it looks kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
I used to think the new one, like, what is this?
Yeah,
like, people
that's
don't
exactly
like
how I
change.
felt.
Like, what is this new thing?
Exactly how I
but
felt.
But now I look at the new one, I'm like, that's a better looking belt.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And just the different elements that are in the belt. Different
you get a
things
jewel
that are in there. Yeah.
For each time you defend your title?
I'm wondering, what are they going to do when I get the belt back? Do they give me a new belt?
Maybe get one different kind of jewel that's in there. Like, you get one gray jewel. Like, that's not so good.
Now they're all red. They're all the rubies.
Right.
But do I...
You get an opal.
Yeah.
All rubies and something. Well, this one's kind of fucked up. But because of it, I got better. Greetings, nerds and virgins. You gotta fucking admire it. It's funny, man. I kill them all. I kill everybody. And like everybody wants to pay attention. It's not bad, right?
But the dark Kermit, the gangster in me, was like,
Dark Kermit.
The gangster in me was like, no, I gotta go again. I need to do what I did that second fight to Masvidal. I gotta do that. That's what I want. That's what the people want. That's what has to happen. And I think this is partially why the first Covington fight was the most satisfying one to me.